Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome on. It is Saturday, July 24th. Oh my gosh, July is almost gone already. School's going to be starting for a lot of people here very soon. This is Scott Buckholz. I am your host of today's live Zoom property tour. I've also got Yaz Hawk on as well. We feature a real estate investor every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. And
Yeah,
today we got somebody coming off mute there. If my administrative folks could keep everybody on mute, that would be great. That way we don't get a lot of background noise. I appreciate it.
People online.
If we could get that.
Are we?
It's coming. It's coming in pretty loud there. Anna,
But-
could you go ahead and stay on mute for a minute?
Mute.
Thank you, Anna. I appreciate that. We're going to be featuring, we originally had set and scheduled, guys, Cecilia Hakey, and she was going to be on today, but unfortunately this week she had a death in the family, so she's going to be attending a funeral this morning. So Anna and Roy and Miguel stepped up and said, hey, we're going to be doing a in-person property tour on our multifamily. And I was like, great. We've had them out before, so I was super excited that they jumped in and said they could be a part of this. So that is wonderful. Again, guys, we do these every Saturday morning. Again, my name is Scott Buckholz. I'm a full-time real estate investor. I've been a part of this national community of investors for a little over 5 years now. I'll be approaching 6 years toward the end of the year. And that's all I do, guys, is real estate investing, okay? I do real estate in Ohio, Kentucky, Kansas. I do multiple strategies. I do fix and flips. I do buy and holds. I do fix and holds. I do new construction, and so I do and exercise multiple strategies in my business. And I'm super excited. I found this community a little over 5 years ago. And I could not be where I'm at today in my business without this community, without the education, without the mentorship. And folks like Roy and Anna, I learn from them every time I hear and or they discuss their property tours or their properties. I learn a lot from them as well. And so I'd like to bring the crew out if I could. Roy and Anna and Miguel. Can you guys hear us okay?
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, Anna.
Awesome.
We have your front of the house on the screen right now. That's wonderful. And I'm going to turn the mic over to you. I just want a little bit of ground rules here for everybody. Please keep your phones on mute, guys. That will really help with everybody on today able to hear what they're talking about. Again,
Hey, Scott, can't hear you.
Okay, so
somebody muted me. Sorry about that. So let's go ahead without further ado. Roy, Anna, Miguel, it's all yours.
awesome. Well, again, everyone here, we have a lot of people here with us. We do these in our local community, and we're really excited to be featured on the national stream as well. Hi, welcome. Come on in. So my name is Anna. My husband is Roy. We started investing a couple years ago. Everything we learned through this community. We primarily do fix and flips. And so we have a lot of fix and flip tours, but super excited to have Miguel show us your multifamily unit. Miguel joined our community about a year ago. He's a dad of some beautiful children, hard worker, and hustling to make his dreams a reality. So I'm going to give you the headset, Miguel, and just have us share why real estate investing and what do you do for work? What are your goals?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're loud and clear, Miguel.
So, yeah,
you're good.
Why real estate investing?
Well, real estate investing, it's an interesting subject. I came about real estate investing 2 years ago when I read a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. And I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with it because a lot of investors started the same way by reading that book. Um, that, growing up, my dad taught me you got to work hard. If you want money, you got to work uh, as hard as you can, so you can make more money. So basically, he taught me the concept of. Oops, somebody's off mute there. He taught me the concept of working, trading your time for money, which a lot of us are taught that way. And it's a pretty good concept, but there's other ways to earn money, and that's when I came about investing, which I went about real estate because there's other ways to invest. But real estate, I think, is the best way to invest your money in.
It's so true. Like a lot of us can probably relate to, right? You go to school to get good grades, get a great job, and then, myself, I'm a professor. I've worked 20 years as a professor, but one day kind of woke up and like, what are we doing for our financial security for the future? And so our community really helps people learn. So Miguel, what are your goals? What is this deal alone and the deals to come? What's it gonna allow you to do?
Huge subject right there because real estate investing alone is huge. So there's several ways to invest in real estate. I decided to go about multifamily because for me it fits with my criteria in my life. I have family, so I need that passive income. There's other ways like short-term rentals and wholesaling, where you can create a job for yourself, or a business if you want to make it that big. But for me, multifamily, it's passive income, which is mailbox money. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, you can. Your money works even when you're not working. Are you still working?
I am. I still work very hard every day.
What do you do for work?
I do heating and cooling, HVAC.
Okay.
That's my background. I've been working most of my life since I was 13 years old. So that's the concept my dad taught me, and I appreciate my dad for that. But like I say, work smart and work hard. That's the concept that a lot of us and don't know. Working smart.
Yeah. Well, so excited. This is Miguel's first deal. And that first deal can be one of the hardest, especially when you do it smart, right? I know you've really done your numbers on this and got a great deal. So we're excited to share the property with you. It's not hard to find a deal, but for it to actually be a deal, I just really respect the time you put into finding a deal. So is this the first offer you made, or how many offers did you make before you found this deal?
That's a good question. I lost count after the 10th offer. I definitely put in a lot of offers. The biggest thing that I learned talking to a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of investors, everybody's got their own niche, right? Like I said, my criteria was finding a seller that was the agent. And the reason I did that, the listing agent was the seller. That's the criteria. The reason I did that is because by doing that, especially in a hot market, it's more attractive for the seller to save on commissions. Every time you sell a property, you have to pay commissions. So I was targeting all these people that were selling their own properties and they were agents. I saw the property 4 hours after it was listed, and I contacted the realtor and the owner. I told them, hey, I'm not a realtor and I'm an investor and I like your property. Can I come and see it? If you want to work with my agent, I got several agents you can work with, a lot of friends that we have here. And he liked the idea, so he invited me over that same afternoon. We came look at the property. We went and have dinner after, talk about the numbers. I told him, give me 24 hours, you'll have an offer from me. So Next morning, he had an offer and he accepted it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, so you
Miguel,
made the
if-
offer yourself
Anna, can I throw something in here?
He wants to
without
throw
a
something in
realtor.
there. Go ahead.
Can you hear me, Miguel?
Yes, I can.
I love how you've been talking about the currencies. You've been talking about time and money, and you've been talking about relationships and knowledge. Can you help? There's going to be a lot of guests on today that maybe this is their first exposure or first time they've been out to our community of investors. Can you emphasize a little bit, because you do come from a W-2 world, you are in the HVAC business, you were brought up by your father, just like I was, about working harder than anybody else, making more money, work hard, make more money, work hard, spend a lot of time. Can you talk a little bit about the
You're there. Talk about what? Sorry, I lost you.
I said, can you talk a little bit about knowledge and relationships and how important that is?
Yeah, knowledge and relationships, guys. I think, as the saying goes, your net worth is your network. The more people that you know in the business, you never know when you're gonna find that person that is gonna make you $1 million. And literally, that's true because I seen it. One person that you meet can introduce you to another person, and then that person to another person, and it's just the power of networking, especially people with knowledge in what you wanna learn and understand. That's my experience with networking. I network a lot. I talk to a lot of people every single day.
Absolutely.
And that's the question from Scott.
From Scott,
Yeah.
the networking and yeah. Well, and it's cool you were able to buy it, put your offer in and use the realtors in our community, and it's really awesome. So so we're in Minneapolis, a very popular neighborhood. It's close to downtown. It's close to tons of cool cultural experiences here in Minnesota. So how much did you acquire the property for? How much did you want? How much did you offer? And what was that final acquisition price?
Yeah, so the listing price of the property was $485, and that's very standard for this market. A little under market price, and he knew that he was listing it a little under market. A lot of realtors are using that strategy because they get over asking price right now, especially if you put it a little bit under market value. I offer him full price. That's what I did. I offer him, hey, I'll give you a full price, but you pay my closings. You pay all the money I put into this house was the down payment.
Okay.
So that's he paid closing, and he liked the idea because we were gonna close fast. And a month after, we were signing documents. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a fourplex. How many bedrooms per unit?
So the units upstairs, there's two units upstairs. There are 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and the 2 units downstairs, there are 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom.
Okay.
Yeah. So pretty total of 10 units and
10 bedrooms.
10 bedrooms, not 10 units, 4 units. The fourplex.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as far as what you see on the outside and the structure of the home, any structural needs, how are the mechanics, those big ticket items that we really care about,
Yes.
how are those?
Big ticket items, HVAC, which wouldn't be a major problem for myself, but for a lot of investors, it would be because that's where you're going to spend a lot of money, roof, foundation, basically the bonds of the property. This property, it wasn't that bad, actually. It was a pretty solid and a good deal. The HVAC is not new, but 10 years old. Roof is about 10 years old. All windows were replaced in this unit prior I bought it. I didn't replace them. The electrical was updated at one point, and the plumbing was updated too. So it was a very solid, which makes the deal more attractive to me because I didn't want to do a lot of, especially when you buy older homes, then you do end up spending a lot of money on expenses, big ticket expenses.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
another thing that make this building very attractive is that all utilities except sewer, water, and garbage are paid by the tenants. So tenants pay their own electricity and their own gas, which that means more cash flow to myself. I don't have to worry about those bills.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Were there tenants in here, or did you have to find them? And when did you acquire the property?
Yeah, that's another great question. When the property was listed, 2 units were empty and 2 were full, which I thought it was ideal and pretty good because I was able to choose at least 2 tenants. I know that not even 3 units will pay for the mortgage on this house. So 2.5 units will pay for the mortgage. So I know if 2 units are empty, I just have to come out with a little bit out of pocket just to pay for the mortgage,
Wow.
which is a pretty good thing. Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
It's hard to find deals that cash flow well in this crazy seller's market. But I like how you went in with a strategy. Okay, I'm going to look for multifamilies on the MLS that are listed by the agent, right? Like you had a strategy. There's lots of things work, but I think through the community, we really help each other focus and execute. So way to execute.
Yeah, that was a huge thing for me, that I had the support of a lot of people. If I had questions, I had them on speed dial. And one of the things that when you find a good deals fly. So you have to move fast.
Yeah.
You have to at least lock it up under contract so they don't sell it to anybody else.
Well, we're
Hey,
gonna
Miguel?
go ahead and take a tour.
Go ahead.
Miguel, can I
Yeah,
ask
go
you
ahead.
quick? Can I expand on something you mentioned earlier? And it's so important for everybody to hear this. I believe Miguel said he'd put in or lost count after about 10 offers. Is that correct?
Yes, I stopped counting after I put in 10 offers. It's
There you go. So something just to expand on, because sometimes when I talk to folks, which I do every day about real estate investing, because I love sharing what I do, because I love what I do. But sometimes folks go, oh, I put an offer in last year and I didn't get it. Or I put a couple offers in. Guys, in this business, even when it's not as hot a market as it is right now, you need to be, there's a saying that one of my mentors, and I have several within this community, but I learned early on that you need to be in a hurry to put in as many offers as you can. Okay. He actually told me, be in a hurry to put in your first 100 offers. Take your time making your first purchase. So basically what he told me is to go out and analyze properties and put offers in on a frequent basis. If the numbers work and they're good numbers, get your offers in. Okay. But take your time doing your first deal. And I'm sure one of the things that you were able to learn, like I learned, Miguel, by putting in and analyzing as many deals as I did in the beginning, I probably analyzed over 50 deals before I got started on my first deal. I mean, that's no joke. I probably looked at 50 deals before I actually did my first deal. And that helps you get really good with numbers. It helps you understand the business. So Miguel, I'm so glad that you shared that, because again, I talk to people all the time that kind of give up putting offers in because they don't get accepted. So thank you for sharing that.
It's complicated. It's not complicated business, but it's complicated at the same time.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. It's
well, it's risky if you don't have the knowledge and
the numbers got to make sense for sure. It's what's one of the things that if the numbers don't work, especially in your first deal, you're gonna be in trouble. It's
that saying, you make your money when you buy, right?
Yes, you make your money when you buy. Yeah.
Force appreciation and all sorts of things, but you still make your money when you buy. So
should we show the property?
yeah, your place. But So we're just gonna go through what you want to explain. We're gonna go through one unit.
Okay. Oh yeah, we're gonna
Were
go.
the other ones good to go, or
We only have one unit empty, so we're just gonna show that one, so the tenants don't get scared. There's a lot of people here, so
so this unit you're updating the kitchen,
yes.
and then other units. Did you have to do any work?
No, it was a turnkey property. We
Turnkey,
call
right.
it turnkey property when they're just you buy them and rent them. That's the holy grail of real estate investing, I think, and you don't have to put a lot of money into a property. But yeah, we are updating this property, this unit, not the property. You want to come in, Daniel, the cameraman? So this is the main living room, main space here. It's a unit that has everything that a tenant needs to live. It's all the essentials. It's a 2-bedroom with 1 bathroom and a kitchen. The kitchen is updated with it granite on it. And I'll let you guys see it. If you got questions, Scott, while I'm showing the property, just let me know.
Yes, please. Anybody who has questions, type them in the chat room, and we'll get to those questions here shortly.
So one thing that we did, well, Daniel hasn't gotten to the kitchen place yet, but when I bought this property, the kitchen was very tight space. The space was reduced here, and that fridge over here was sitting in this corner, right here. So one of the biggest challenge because I did showings on this unit already, the question was, the kitchen is really small. Where would I set my table? So what I did, I opened up a space here so I could push the fridge in, and now there's an opening right there on the corner to make it more appealing for tenants. So those are the little things you can do to, maybe you're not gonna add value to the property, but for sure you're gonna make it more appealing to attract their tenants. Another thing that we're doing to this property, there's a space area here in the back. Another challenge that I had with the tenants was the parking space, because easily you can fit 8 cars here, but there's no lines in the parking space, so it was challenging to have the tenants, park on the right spaces. So we are doing concrete in a couple of weeks. I had to get a few bids, and I got a good contractor coming out to do a concrete on the parking space, and that would add value to the property for sure. So when the way I see it, it is an expense, but at the same time you're adding value to the property, and forces your appreciation.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're gonna see some nice appreciation in this area. Like,
we have
a huge shortage of housing in Minneapolis, so.
Yeah, the area is for sure a good area. It's gonna appreciate it over time.
So the kitchen has granite. Did you redo the kitchen?
No.
Wow. Turnkey. Fast flowing
Yeah.
turnkey.
Yeah.
You're persistent putting in your offer. So
Yes.
awesome.
Should we go
Well,
back?
should we go over the numbers?
Yeah, we should go over the numbers, Daniel.
Hey, Miguel, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Go ahead.
So are you considering, oh, that's great that you're showing that view now. So do people they park in the back, so they enter the house mostly from the rear, correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yep, that's correct.
Yep. So upstairs, you've got 2 apartments upstairs. Each apartment has 3 bedrooms.
Yep.
Okay. What are your rents that you're able to acquire? And I'm sure that you analyzed the market to see what the going rents were. What are you able to achieve in the upper apartments?
We're getting $1,350 on this on the 3-bedroom apartments, and we're getting $1,100 on the 2-bedroom apartments.
Oh my gosh! That's awesome. You're 1350 a side up top.
Yes, yes, 1350.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Miguel, you have shared so many golden nuggets. I mean, I'm sitting in my truck in the middle of Missouri right now on my way to Kansas to meet with a couple contractors on some of my real estate properties there. And, you talked about the importance of buying a property and getting it rented and cash flowing from the very beginning, right? You talked about
Yes.
that. And so if I could add to that, one of the most important things that, when you're looking at different strategies, guys, and you're looking at a flip compared to a fix and hold.
Hello.
So I would call this a fix and hold because you've done some minor repairs, you've added some value to it, you're continuing to add value. But again, the things that as an investor that I look at, and I'm sure you're looking at, Miguel, and have looked at, is I look at safety and liability, right? If it's a fix and hold, those are the most important things in my mind, is to make sure there are no safety hazards and that I don't have any liabilities out there because of those. And if they're there, those are the main things that I go after, and I make sure those are taken care of. But I love. We got lots of questions coming in here. Let me ask a couple of them if I could from you. Do you have any kind of a short? Do you have any kind of a short-term rental ordinance or anything there as far as short-term rentals?
Yes. So I did some research on short-term rentals ordinance, and the laws are constantly changing. Last time I checked, the community here in Minneapolis, they were trying to short the availability to have short-term rentals. I think they were just allowing one short-term rental per host per se. So if you're the owner of the property, you can have one short-term rental. And what a lot of people pivot is like hiring different hosts, if you're familiar with the short-term rental strategy, so that way they can still keep their short-term rental business going, but just a different host.
Yeah. And so again, it's so important. I do want to make a comment here for everybody. Miguel and Anna and Roy today, they're sharing their real estate property, but like always, guys, you have to do your due diligence. Every city, every state has different codes, different ordinances, different ways that they handle the short-term rental aspect, even the long-term rental. Some markets require that you have a license to be a landlord. Some don't. So you've got to make sure that as you're building your relationships, you're bringing people into your cabinet. We'll call it a cabinet of relationships of contractors, lawyers, CPAs, realtors, inspectors, appraisers, and the list continues to go on, that you understand and what those are when you're doing business in that market. And that is so crucial to be able to do that. I just can't say that enough. But again, none of us have, like I'm not a realtor, I'm not a licensed CPA or an attorney. That's why we always want to make sure you guys are, doing your own due diligence and checking those numbers out very, very clearly. I'd like to get a couple more questions here before you get to the numbers, because yes, the stained glass is charming. I love stained glass in older houses. It's so beautiful. I've done so many of those where I've kept the stained glass. Sometimes I can't because it's so expensive to repair. And but let's see, a couple comments on stained glass. Great cash flow, so proud, wonderful, love the stained glass. Wow, lots of comments on the stained glass. So good question from Nino, if I'm saying that correctly. Nino's talking about cost of materials and how much they've gone up. Now, if you're in this business or kind of in the loop on it, material costs have been dropping rapidly. I mean, rapidly. I was about a year or so ago, about a year ago, I was paying in the upper 20s for 4x8 sheets of OSB. Okay. And then it got up into almost into the high 50s. And I just bought 400 sheets of it this last week, and I paid right at $30 a sheet. So prices have been dropping rapidly. So, how did we deal with that? The question is, how do you deal with higher costs? Obviously, you have to be very prudent about that. You have to watch your numbers, but the costs are what the costs are. And obviously that's been a part of what's drove the prices of real estate up so much. I'm doing 5 new constructions right now. So I have spent my material costs on 2 of them are about 30 to 35% higher than what I had budgeted. And when I had budgeted those costs, I had over budgeted, but because costs went up so much, so at the end of the day, I will be selling those properties for more than I had originally planned on selling them to cover those costs. But that is a great question. There's a comment in here about the refrigerator, on how you actually moved it back. I did see you left some space around the refrigerator for it to have airflow, because that's so important, but that's a really neat deal, that you were able to move that refrigerator back in there to open up that walkway. Here's a question from Carlos about, as a beginner, what's the safest way to get started with funding? I do own my own home, single family. Any tips would be appreciated. Well, great question, Carlos. One of the great things that happened for me is, I had read Rich Dad, Poor Dad many years ago. And I had the bug to get into real estate investing back in the late 70s and 80s, because my parents were doing it at a very high level. And so I had the bug for many years to get into it. But I had always heard about people talking about using other people's money, about OPM and things like that. And I didn't understand it. I just thought that was they talked about it, but it was a pipe dream. And, going back to the 4 currencies, time, money, relationships, and knowledge, by becoming or getting in part of a community and building relationships, what allowed me to do was find a lot of people in our community that I built a relationship with and had conversations with that became my partners. And they were my lending partners. So it's available. The money is there. The funds are there. You need to have conversations with people, but there is funds available from private lenders out there. It's just having those conversations, learning how to have those conversations. And again, I attribute that to being a part of the community. That has helped me so much. Miguel, I think I've caught up on questions. Let's see, Miguel, so proud of you. Yeah, we've caught up on questions. Go ahead if you want to go through numbers. That would be awesome.
All right, so Anna's gonna share the numbers on the screen there, and I'm gonna talk to the people here in the room in this slideshow we made here.
Yeah, so you have a traditional mortgage on this, and where you were able to do that, you've been building your credit, reserves, and
Yes, so I've been ever since I read that book about 2 years ago. One of the concepts it teaches is getting ready. Getting ready for, because like I say, when you find that deal that makes sense, you need to be ready to buy. So yeah, yeah, we've been saving like crazy for 2 years with the wife. We got business credit now. We started that last year. Credit cards are paid in full. Car is paid in full. So like I said, getting ready, it's probably the best way to start, because it doesn't take too long to get the ball rolling and start looking for deals. And because like Scott said a few minutes ago, the problem is not the deals or the money. Money is not the problem, because once you find deals are money's going to be thrown at you by private. Yeah, it's so yeah, these are the numbers. Monthly expenses, mortgage taxes and insurance is $3,042. Water and sewer and garbage are the only bills I pay for these properties. In average, it's $345. It was $290, but I added a little bit because this unit is going to be rented pretty soon. And maintenance, funny thing, I didn't have a person to take care of the property. Gloria, the person that lives upstairs, she's been a blessing. Since she moved in, she started cleaning the property and she's taking care of it. And I just told her, hey, why don't I just pay you and you just, take care of it since you're doing it already. And she loved the idea. I'm paying her $200 a month and she just takes care of the weeds outside. You should have seen the property when I bought it. You couldn't see the rock there. She takes care of the garbage on Fridays, and I don't have to drive 30 minutes one way. Another thing is that money is tax. It's a tax deduction for my business too because it's an expense essentially. So yeah. So the total annual expenses comes to be $43,044, $3,587 a month. But the monthly rents offset the expenses because I'm getting 4 units rented $4,850 a month on this property, $58,000, $200 gross. So we had some conversations with Anna. I'm thinking about doing a short-term rental in this unit. Although I have already people lined up to rent it too because it's a great rental area. A lot of people want to live here. I have the option to either rent it or just put some furniture in there, decorate it nice, and do a short-term rental on it. So I could make an extra $1,000 a month. I did the comps. There's a couple short-term rentals in this area, and it's about $100 a night. What I will charge for a 2-bedroom unit, and if we do the math at 75% occupancy, and that's being very conservative, it makes about $1,000 a month, which increases my cash flow $1,000 extra. So we're still thinking about it. That's another investment I have to do, and like I said, I'm on the passive income business, and if I do a short-term rental. At the beginning, there's going to be a little bit more of my time involved. Eventually, it becomes passive once you create the system. But it's another goal I have, doing short-term rentals.
Yeah, we talk as a community. We partner up with people that are knowledgeable. We have some pretty incredible systems for short-term rentals. So we've talked, like, I love designing and setting them up, and we can, rent from each other and run our short-term business. So someone in our community can have a short-term rental business. He gets his regular rent, or there's lots of profit split that can be done. But man, you're the owner, so you have tons of opportunities. So did you have a question?
No, I'm going to mention the opportunity to run the short-term rental like we talked about. We could rent this. We know Miguel. We have a relationship. We have a track that teaches about short-term rental. We could rent this from Miguel and furnish it and then turn it into a short-term rental. We win because those short-term rentals rent much more than regular rentals. He wins too. He is past, right? So that's really
He's got good tenants, right?
Power of ecosystem of investment.
Everyone, that's superstar Roy, husband's Anna's husband. Yeah. Any more questions, Scott?
Yes, Miguel. Miguel, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, no, this has been a great property tour. And so this is your first deal, like technically your very first deal. Is that right?
We bought a house a few years back, and I'm house hacking that too. So if you want to count that as my first deal, but I wasn't on the real estate mindset then. But I've been partnered on flips with Cecilia, another member of our community. So she's a rock star here in Minnesota too. So that's a good thing about this community too, that we can partner, we can, if you have something to bring on the table, like you say, money, knowledge, time and
skills,
relationships. Yeah, that's a good asset that you bring to a table and people want to do business with you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Sandra made a great comment and compliment here, talking about how you're able to do real estate investing while you also still have a job. A lot of times people don't think they can do both. And you know what? To be honest with you, most people get started in real estate investing their goal is to get out of their W-2 job, to become full-time real estate investors, to generate enough monthly cash flow that not only pays their bills, but allows them to live the lifestyle and build the legacy and the wealth for their family. So, but that's where you really get started. So when I talk to people on a daily basis, sometimes people say, well, I have a job. I don't think I have time to be a real estate investor. Well, there's time there if you'll prioritize it and make it important. Because if you really want to get out of your W-2 job, or if you really want to build that passive income and build that legacy for your family and your kids and your grandkids, you can do it. I mean, I meet people in our community all the time that have a job that maybe they don't want to leave. They love what they do, but they also have a huge real estate investing business also. So it can be done, but it is so helpful to be a part of a community and have that support mechanism and to build those relationships. There was a question earlier on about naming some some private lenders. So that's a great question, Dee, but the reason why they're called private lenders is because they are private, and most private lenders don't want their names shared. How you build a relationship with a private lender or with a group of private lenders is by getting to know them. You don't just become, and I know I'm not saying this because I don't think you know this or other people don't know this on today, but you build these relationships. They got to get to know you. You got to get to know them. You got to understand their morals and characters, and they that about you. So it's a relationship process. And
if I can
Miguel,
add to that,
yes, Miguel, I was going to say, please add to that.
Yeah, private lenders also, what they do, they apart from investing in your deal, they invest in the person too. So that's another thing that private lenders do, that you have to prove yourself to them that you can make them money. And like I said, money is not the problem when you're doing good things. And when you show that you know what you're doing, then money is just throw at you like crazy.
Any other questions here?
Ken.
Yeah, so I know a lot of people want to get started in real estate and they just, fear holds them back. So I'd like to hear from you, like how you push past that, just that fear of putting it on.
Well,
Miguel, could you repeat that question? I think that was Ken Muck. Was that Ken?
That's Rockstar Ken. Yes.
Can you repeat that question so we can hear it?
Yeah. So how do you get past that fear of buying your first property, getting to your first deal? If you bought a house before, like everybody's different and everybody has different experiences. I haven't flipped a house on my own like Kim does. He flips a house every month here. But in this particular property, it was no different than buying a house. Like I said, the numbers make sense. Yes, it was a little scary at the beginning, but why not if the numbers make sense? It's a lot of people. Another excuse that I hear a lot is that, oh, I'm not going to get into real estate because the market is so hot right now. I'm going to wait until it slows down, until the market crashes. And that's I think that's, in my opinion, a mistake, because I see people doing deals all the time, making money in real estate. It's and you don't know, you can't know the future. So I think Roy has another question.
Yeah, there's nobody has a crystal ball. You're right. Go ahead, Roy.
Part of this community, because we were hanging out at property, it was like this, and actually got a chance to participate in about 10, 11 deals. managing and hiring crews. That gave us the confidence that we built over time. So that's the reason we hold these property tours. As you come through and check them out, every time you show up, your confidence is building, right? So much as it might be terrifying, if you've seen this over and over again, you can't do it because you can't write what you care. You build the confidence. See Daniel and see Peter, you can build confidence. So as you're making an offer, you also have our support. We don't want you to buy your education or like just try to figure stuff out on your own. You can leverage community and experience, and that's really protection. Okay?
Yeah, I think it's very inspiring. You've seen other people doing what you want to do, and eventually you make the jump and then you do it. It's no different than.
Well, I mean, I remember our first fix and flip, like we didn't have the knowledge we needed. We got in over our head, but we joined the community, we got educated, and now we know. I mean, we've done many deals since then, and now we know if we're in a bind, we have each other. Like at the end of the day, we're all our own business owners. You did your due diligence, but we can help and mastermind. And right, I think of a battery pack. Do you want a single battery, or do you want the charge and the power of a whole battery pack?
Yeah.
So, and I mean, you have plugged in, you built relationships, you never misses a meeting. And that's how you get to know lenders and watching other people run their numbers and hey, run these numbers. So congrats. It's an amazing deal. So
Thank you, Hannah.
and your path to, I can't wait to see the legacy you're building for your kids, because I know that's why you do this for your kids.
Yes, that's the goal.
Yeah.
Scale, because the sky is the limit. Or I heard somebody say that the mind is the limit.
Awesome.
Any more questions, Scott, or should we wrap it up?
No, Miguel, you guys have done a wonderful job. This deal is a rock star deal. I think anybody that's in that room right now that's maybe already a real estate investor, they would have done this deal 20 times over. And that's amazing cash flow. It's, there's been so many golden nuggets you have shared today. And, for only being in the business the short period of time that you have, obviously it's just amazing. And it's been such a great property to share. And one thing before it gets too late, guys, I want to mention, if you are on here today and you want to get more information and you want to learn more about a lot of the things that Miguel and Anna and Roy have talked about today, we do have right after this at 12 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock Central, we do have a live business Zoom meeting that you can plug into. It's a different link, so you got to get back to who invited you, and you'll learn more about a lot of the things that they've shared today about. And I recommend highly, if you've got an hour and a half and you can do that, definitely jump on that. Miguel, I can't wait to have you out in 6 months or so on your next deal. I can't wait to see what that's about.
We're going for another fourplex by the end of the year. That's the goal.
Woo! That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's see here. Great deal. Lots of compliments coming in. Amazing deal. Your relationships have been a driving force in your success. Fabuloso. You are so right, Sandra. A little my story, guys. When I found this community, I did not have the right mindset. But again, I had a mindset that, when I say not the right mindset, my mindset was all about time and money. It was all about, how I was brought up, and I wasn't brought up wrong. It's just, I did not have the correct mindset, and I had more of a mindset of scarcity and not a mindset of abundance. And once I figured it out, it was like a light bulb went on. And I could see so clearly. And, I heard a comment or read a comment earlier that someone said, hanging around with the right people, You want to associate with people that have that similar mindset. And that's what these guys are doing in Minneapolis. I Ken Muck is there supporting. Ken's another one of our community members. We have brought Ken out a couple times and featured some of his deals, but he's there supporting Miguel and Roy and Anna. That is such a marvelous thing. Thanks, Ken, for coming out today. Guys, get back to who invited you, and they can have you come out to our next property tour. We will get Cecilia back on at some point here very soon, and she will feature her short-term rental business. And she lives in Minneapolis, and she is running with some partners a short-term rental business out in California. So that's going to be really cool to bring her out and share that strategy and that part of her business. Guys, again, thank you for coming on. Miguel, wonderful job today. Anna, Roy, you guys are wonderful. Can't wait to see you guys again soon, I hope. And for everybody that's on today, get back to invited you, and we'll get you out to some more events, okay? Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.